And there's Theo. Hey, Theo. You got everybody here?
Hello there.
And there's Randall. All right. What's up, Randall? I think, let's see, are we at 1 o'clock? Yes, we are. We'll get started. I know everybody's busy, so thanks for joining us today, everyone. I'm Tim Kubrick. I'm Director of Labor Relations. I would like to get started with introductions. So if everybody, maybe we'll start with the district side and then switch, and everybody on CTA introduce yourself. So if you can work through it that way, please introduce yourself.
Paul Houchins, Director of Research and Evaluation.
Anthony Doherty, Director of Professional Development.
Maureen Thompson, the Manager of Professional Development.
Jesus Armas, Principal at John I. Leonard High School.
Eugenia Seaman, Principal, Emerald Cove Middle.
Lisa Roman, PD Specialist.
Jermaine English, Manager, Labor Relations.
Anne-Marie Dilbert, Principal at Cross Point Elementary.
All right, I think that's everybody from district side. So everybody on CTA, if you could introduce yourself.
Theo Harris, Executive Director, CTA.
Justin Katz, CTA President.
Gordon Longhopper, CTA Vice President and President-elect.
Randall Audie, CTA Staff.
Patty Hatch Sabers, former kindergarten teacher, now part teacher.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brianna Koch, and I am CTA's Professional Development Coordinator.
All right. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate you taking time to jump on for this, especially those of you who are on summer vacation. So our plan for today is to review the modifications to the Classroom Teacher Evaluation System Handbook for FY24. So I'm going to turn it over to Anthony Doherty to walk us through the changes and open discussion on any of these items.
Thanks, Tim. Maureen, would you mind sharing your screen? Maureen's going to put up the CTS handbook. As a reminder, this was shared over a month ago. I'm going to pop the link into the chat for those to view it, well, in case you need to see it without having to go through your email. Updates for this year are very similar to previous years. There were updates for the dates due to the calendar changes for the new academic year. Some grammatical pieces that we seem to miss throughout the years. Those who've been on Jenk for a while know there's always a phrase or some punctuation that just slips through the crack each year. But Maureen, let's take through to the first page.
Maureen, is there a way to increase, can you increase the percentage so it's a little easier to see? It's like a really wide screen,
there you
I think, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
An item, kind of a simple just piece there. Of course, we had Mr. Ferguson replacing Dr. Robinson, but we also added the district numbers just for procedural piece. The principals and teachers are the same. District staff, we have the updates for myself replacing Vonda Daniels. Of course, Gordon, Justin, and Theo changing rules. Anne-Marie, go ahead. I see your hand raised.
Yes, I think we have to change Miss Rieger out to someone else who's famous in the district.
Yes, that is a great mention. Thank you. Yes, Miss Rieger, who is sadly leaving us. However, we are blessed with having Tim take her spot.
And then Anthony, on the bottom, do you want to keep your name and Tim's with that same title, or do you want to up it?
So then we cross out Tim. Mine. Oh yeah, cross out mine as well. Maureen, we'd put you and Jermaine in those spots.
Okay. Let's see. Rubric. And then, all right, where are we going, Anthony? Which one?
Consultants. We can come back to that part.
Okay.
We just need to change out the two consultants from Tim and myself to you and Jermaine.
Okay. I'll make a note and we can keep going.
Okay. Table of contents, the same. We'll fix the structure of that leaching onto the next page. This piece right here, we had the LTOs from the previous strategic plan, so we updated with the 4 themes for the new plan. Just again, consistency of staying with what's new. One of the dangers of opening this document in Grammarly is finding all the other pieces that need to be updated, but I didn't want to get too ostentatious. But we added some hyphens for the 1/3 pieces right here. This piece, Paul can speak to if there's any questions, but here are the updates to the pre and post measures that we're using for the student performance piece or the 1/3 component of the evaluation. Are there any questions on this section before we proceed? And then as a reminder, of course, as every year, Paul and his team, they will always analyze the results afterwards and try to do what's in best benefit for the teachers. So until we get the data in, it's hard to say everything's clear cut. All right. No changes to the scale, the rubric, those are consistent. Definitions, I think there was one piece in here. Going. Yeah, for observations. So we added this piece in here because the definition of observation was more relevant to a classroom teacher delivering instruction. We didn't have a definition that aligned to non-classroom instructional personnel. So for our school counselors, our media specialists, our school psychologists, our OTs or PTs, SLPs, we wanted to create at least this qualifier in there that defines an observation can also be in a non-traditional setting, such as a conference, a school meeting, or school events. Really, it's just kind of a safety net. We don't find that there's too many issues with this. However, we're getting a lot of new administrators, a lot of new APs, new principals, and they're not as familiar with the system as the rest of this group is. So adding that little qualifier in there, we're hoping will clear up some future confusion. Justin, please, go ahead.
Thank you, Anthony. I liked it. You made clear at the end there to put for non-classroom teachers. I'd say make sure during any training or updates for the administrators who are doing observations that they know that that's definitely not for classroom instructors. And if I'm a social studies teacher, they can't evaluate me based on a random interaction or a meeting. So I appreciate the thoroughness of the language.
Thank you. And it's a really good concern, Justin, because we actually had a couple current assistant principals this year ask about evaluating teachers on data chats. And several of you know that we covered that years ago. Data chats are not for like a classroom instruction setting. You're only harming the teacher by observing that setting. So we had to coach them the right way. So yes, that's a great note. We'll make sure we keep that for training languages as well, Lisa and Maureen.
Thank you.
All right, this section again, these are the calendar updates. They're around the same time next year. So the changes are simply, it's either the last instructional day of that month or that last Friday of that second week. Anne-Marie, go ahead.
So that November 1st date, if I'm looking at it right, is like a duty PDD day, no school. Is there any way, I don't know how everyone feels, that maybe we can extend it to Friday the 3rd?
Yeah, can't believe we missed that. I don't see any reason why it couldn't be Friday the 3rd.
And then the next one, December 9th is a Saturday. So if we could move that to maybe Monday the 11th?
Okay, well, let's pull up a calendar because we looked at these dates and triple looked. I didn't think that was a Saturday.
It could be me. I'm in summer mode.
Anthony,
Yeah.
I think the reason we didn't have some of these end on like a Friday, like November the 3rd, is so that teachers weren't getting evaluated on like the last day of the deadline, like intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, Justin, how do you feel it ending on a duty PDD day? I don't know, that kind of scares me that maybe some people will try to slip it in on not a great day, the 1st. I'm good either way, but
No, I don't think there's an issue with that.
I think that as long as the observation's taken place by that date, like if the observer were to need an extra day or two, we wouldn't necessarily have a concern about that to fill it out. But like as far as conducting it on a Friday or at the end of a grading period, I think that was the intention of some of the dates previously, was to make sure that like you weren't being observed at the last day before a holiday or before a break.
yeah. So that's, I mean, it's your call. It's just that the 1st is a no school PDD duty day. Kind of raised the flag for me.
So then let's change that to November 3rd, Maureen, the first informal.
And then that December 9th is a Saturday.
Yep. So that should be December 8th. And that's also going to be the same for that first date of December 1st in the category 1B and 2. It'll be, actually, let me double check that. December 1st is a Friday, so that's still okay. No change to that. All right, professional growth plans. Remember, we always keep around the middle of October. There is a PDD on the 13th. So we figured, similar to what we did last year, is the following Monday, which is the 16th. So hopefully on the PDD, they're attending CTA's amazing trainings, and they're also getting support at the school sites. We did add, just scroll back, thanks, Maureen. We did add 2 qualifiers in the mid-year and final that weren't in here. They're pieces that you would have to look in the collective bargaining agreement. So to save teachers and the admin's time, we put in the contractual date for when you would be exempt for a mid-year evaluation and a final evaluation. And that will reduce some questions that I know my team gets, but also a lot of confusion at the school sites.
So I'm just going to change this mid-year to final. It's the one that I've highlighted.
Yes. Thank you.
No problem.
I tell you, no matter how much we share and look at it, there's always going to be something we miss. No changes to the scoring guide, the rubric, the models. All right, these are the, oh, there you go. These are the same dates that were on the previous page we were just looking at. We were putting it in this section. Well, we did this a long time ago. They're just being updated. But they're in this section just in case someone only goes to this part about deliberate practice. They'll get the dates also for completing the plan, updating the plan, and then the administrators finishing the plan for the teachers. No changes to the rubric. And that was grammatical right there. Little typo. All right. This was language, Tim, we were talking about. I believe this was consistency with the CBA.
Yeah, well, so what it was is it's just, the reason for adding this was we had someone delay a meeting with their supervisor for a pre-observation meeting, and it just didn't make sense. So these meetings are, typically beneficial, I'd say, for the teacher. It's not evaluative or anything like that, but, so we're not taking anything away that you can have representation once the evaluation has been conducted and finalized, but not before you even get observed. That's really what it was.
And it makes sense. We get quite a few requests in our department for support before an observation has even happened. And we're always happy to bring clarification, but until the observation happened, we don't know whether it's positive or negative. So it is helpful for the observation to take place, conference, and that evaluation or the observation finalized to see what the ramifications are. And no changes to the improvement plans. I think the only thing after this, it's the links on the website, because we had those website changes. So these are the protocols for the classroom teacher and the non-classroom teacher. So those links were updated. But the forms themselves, there's no changes to the forms that teachers see in PeopleSoft when they sign their final evaluation. And that would be, I think that's it. Yeah, because there shouldn't be any changes to the state plans. And these are, of course, the letters for directives in relation to those state plans. This is the fun part, Maureen. Yeah, and the logos are the same, so I believe that's it. You can take us back to the top, please. Thank you, Maureen. All right, any other final notes on the CTES? Any questions, thoughts, concerns? All right, as I famously say, silence means compliance, so we're good on that. Thank you, Maureen, for taking the helm.
All right. Any other questions or anything from the group while we're on, or are we all set? We got Paul here. Do you have any questions for Paul? No? All right. Well, thank you all for collaborating on this, providing input. This was even easier than last year, I think, right? So I appreciate it, and just want to thank you for jumping on the call today. And enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy your summer if you're on summer vacation. All right. All right. Bye, everybody.